Welcome to the heart of Ohio, Antiques again. I'm Jacob, and
I'm Josh.
And this is our guest David today. So we appreciate David for coming on. If you watched our video from yesterday at Burner Brother Antiques, you've seen the apples. This is the gentleman that brought the apples. So, anyways, what we
brings flowers, apples,
flour every week.
Tomatoes.
You said your tomatoes today.
He brings a little bit of everything.
Tomatoes today.
And he also brings a few antiques.
Antiques, and he paints a little bit.
A wagon load or two.
A wagon
each
load or
week.
two, yeah,
Each week.
About every day.
What we're thinking is just have a conversation, and we'd like to know, before we talk about your stuff and all the antiques that you're involved in, give us a background. How did you find this passion?
Oh,
where did it
goodness.
come from?
So, I've only really been selling antiques for 4 years.
Okay.
But I've collected really since I was a teenager.
Okay.
I went to graduate school in Manhattan at Columbia. And while I was there, I was a picker for a store called The End of History.
The End of History. Okay.
And that's sort of...
in Manhattan.
Yeah, that's sort of the mid-century store in New York.
Okay.
And how it started was I couldn't afford anything there.
Okay.
So I would find things at the flea market, take them there and trade.
Trade them out.
So...
What was one of the first things you got?
Oh, goodness. There's a Italian glass blower, Barbini, and I have a lot of his things in my booths here. But I started collecting the biomorphic ashtrays. They look like kidneys.
Okay.
And I was hooked.
Great
That was it.
description. I know
did it.
exactly what you're talking about when you say that.
Yeah.
So that was in New York. And how old were you when you started doing that?
Oh, goodness. Let's see. I went there right after Ohio State, so I guess I would have been 24, something like that.
No, what
Yeah.
was your actual degree in?
I have a master's in poetry from Columbia, and
I
two
did not
BAs
know that.
from Ohio State, one in English and one in German.
Okay. So a master in poetry. Do you write? Do you have any, like, a favorite poem that you've written? I'd love to hear one.
No, we won't do that today.
Oh!
But I do write.
Save that for another time.
I do
right?
write, and but what I'm really obsessed with now is painting.
Okay.
And in the background are a few of my paintings, but I've only been at that for about 5 years.
So you've been painting for 5 years. Okay. How did you start getting?
Oh,
interested in painting?
that's a sad story.
Oh.
But it's all right. I lost a friend of mine, and I couldn't write my way out of it.
Okay.
And I tried, and I'd always wanted to paint. And whenever I'd travel, I'd go to the museums in that city. So I saw a few videos on YouTube, and I thought, I can do this. And I just jumped in.
Wow.
So you're self-taught.
Okay,
I'm self-taught.
Off of YouTube.
I got to grab one of your paintings.
That I did
Right
not
beside
know
me. Here we go.
that. I've
Yeah.
seen your paintings, and I didn't realize that they were all done by you.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what we are looking at here.
So it's one of my principles is that everything I do is repurposed. So there's a painting underneath this painting. You can't see it. It was two pelicans. So it's a recycled
Okay, yeah.
image, and all the paint is the Oops paint from Lowe's or Home Depot. All the
So you're
mist-tinted
going and
paints.
getting the...
So even that's repurposed.
That is awesome. Okay, now what you just said, there's pelicans underneath, so I'm holding it up and I can see
Yeah.
through the light.
A little bit,
There's a little bit of pelican. Yeah, putting that right in front of our viewers, but maybe they can see this. I don't know. Let's see. Yes, you can. You can see the pelican underneath. That is awesome. I did not know that either.
Yeah.
So everything is repurposed. This is your new passion.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're painting.
And it's
Go ahead.
the thing that's good about it is with poetry you have to be very precise. You know, every line break, every word matters. Here, I'm free. You know, if this is purple, that's fine. If it's blue, that's okay too. And I love it.
Any more of an expression for you?
Yeah.
How do you decide what to paint? or
I
how to
just
paint?
jump in, because even if I spend time thinking about what I want to do, it ends up being different. And that's the same with a poem. You think, oh, I'll write a poem about this, but by the time it's done, you've arrived somewhere else.
Yeah, it's taking you where it wants to go. That's,
Yeah.
Okay, so you have how many booths here at the Antique Center?
I have 8 booths and a showcase.
8 booths in the showcase, and you sell a phenomenal amount of volume. You are one of our top sellers. Talk a little bit about the stuff that you sell, maybe some of your inventory, the things that you have passion that you're selling here, and kind of explain some of that to our viewers.
What I try to follow is another job I had in Manhattan is I was the housewares buyer for Dean and DeLuca. And Dean and DeLuca is defunct now, but it was the fancy grocery store in Manhattan.
Okay.
So I was their housewares buyer.
Okay.
And the original Mr. Dean and his partner, Mr. Shiglick, they taught me how to merchandise.
Okay.
And I know my booths look full and maybe even too crowded, but that's what I learned in Manhattan.
Okay.
And
so you picked this technique up while you were working at the store,
at Dean and DeLuca.
Dean and DeLuca's in Manhattan, and that's how you merchandise it here now at the Heart. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And also I learned a lot at the End of History, what Stephen did there. But that's how I merchandise. I try to have
So you got lots of
something
height, lots of depth,
grouped
every
by
angle,
color.
Every angle everywhere has got something to see. It's like a piece of art that you're creating in your booth. Would that describe
it's like a sculpture.
It's like a sculpture. Yeah, it literally is.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Okay, that's interesting. So tell us about the things that you're actually selling. What era is it from? What kinds of things do you look for? What are you putting in the booth here at the Heart?
Well, where I really draw the line is would I have it in my house?
Okay.
Even for a while. Like, could I live with it for a while? And if so, then it's here.
Okay.
And like I said, I try to have something for everyone.
Okay.
So you have a wide range in your booth. It's
and you've got several booths, and you theme some of your booths out, right? For the most part. So you've got the mid-century glass booth. We featured that several times now, and you sell. I mean, we have people come in and like buy the whole shelf. They just want all that group right there.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot, especially the swung vases. But so you've got the mid-century glass that you specialize in, and then this booth here specifically. I'm looking at 100 scarves. Is that what I'm looking at here?
Yeah, probably.
100 scarves.
Vintage head scarves.
Vintage head scarves.
I've noticed there's lots of young people who dress in an old-fashioned way, like from the 20s or 30s.
And it's getting more popular.
And it's more and more popular.
More popular.
And I probably sell, I don't know, 5 or 6 scarves a week.
Okay.
Easily.
Okay.
But they're affordably priced, but I'm always on the lookout for more.
But most
you literally have, I don't know, a few hundred there.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Yeah,
yeah.
At least 100.
At least 100. There's a lot. It's a big variety.
So other items in this booth. I mean, we've got books. We've got the art that you've created. We've got scarves. We've got a Majolica grouping. I see a group of art glass birds over here. What are those?
Oh, that's a Murano centerpiece.
A Murano centerpiece.
If someone wants something special, it's an opalescent centerpiece, Murano, and it's a bunch of birds, like they're at a bird bath.
And it seems to me that the style of stuff that you really are drawn to that you would keep. Can you talk a little bit about some of that? Because you a few things I brought in now, you're like, oh, that's for me, and you want to take it home. Like, what are some of that stuff that you're wanting to keep?
Gravitate immediately when you see things. How's that happen?
Well, I mean, I don't want to sound obnoxious, but I do believe if you put me in front of 50 paintings or 50 rugs or 50 quilts, I could pick out which ones were the best.
Yeah.
You have an eye for it, an act, and you've been doing it long enough that you know when you see things.
Yeah, I just have a feeling about it.
Yeah.
It's like there are lots of scarves that don't make it here because
Just not
the right
right.
one.
it's just wrong.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's a good.
So
I like that.
I curate things. I know Janet doesn't always think so, but
she's
there's
learning.
there's a selection process
Yeah.
that goes on.
Well, that makes perfect sense to me. I mean, I similar to you, I have to have a wide range of categories that I have to become familiar with because we have the auction and we're selling 1,000 lots a week, and you never know what the next house brings. So you have to understand a wide range, a wide variety, and you learn over time. This is going to be a good one, even if you've never dealt in it before. You see things.
That's one of the best things. I'm always learning something new. Like, I'll buy collections, like all this Majolica. So then I have to learn about Majolica. And that, I don't know, in strange ways, it'll show up in writing and it'll show up in art. It's all tumbling around in your head.
Oh, perfect.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, give us a couple unique stories, maybe of something you picked that was just a fun place or a fun thing or something our viewers might find interesting.
I don't know. I mean, I have so much at my farms to eventually bring here.
So we gotta get him here buying something.
It's massive then, huh?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Something special I'll have here soon is when City Lights closed down in Manhattan. That was sort of the big lighting store.
Okay.
I bought a lot of their inventory, and I have crates and crates of acro agate lamp parts.
Oh, wow.
Uranium
Okay.
glass,
Yep.
acro agate.
Yep.
And, you know, I'm at the point in my life now, you know, I always think I'll turn it into something else. It'll be some project, but yeah, I'm thinning things out now.
Okay.
There's so many things like that. Like even the orange vases. I still have the best 25.
Yeah.
You know, there's some that are almost 5 feet tall.
Wow.
So
Where do you find a 5 foot tall orange vase? How did you come across that?
okay, when I was a picker for the end of history, Stephen wouldn't allow those in his shop.
Okay.
They were American, and he only wanted European things, or for the most part.
Okay,
And
okay.
It was just a no-go. But
Okay.
I thought there's something about them, and once I had a few, then I was hooked. But back then I could buy them for $10 or $15, and
Yeah.
at one point I had over 500.
Wow.
So
How many of them do you think you've sold through the mall now?
oh goodness, hundreds.
Hundreds. Yeah. And you
Probably
still keep bringing them in.
400.
Josh, you and I have watched multiple times. One gentleman came back at least twice, and they bought almost his entire inventory of the tall ones, and then they resell them again.
Yeah, they would bring them in. They would purchase them. I don't even think that they haggled with a price or
No,
anything. They
yeah.
just came in, purchased them, and they were doing so well with them online that they came in, I
Yeah.
know, 3 times.
3 times,
And
okay.
people
Yeah,
were booting.
for as hard as they are to find, it's a good price
Yeah.
I have on them.
Yeah. And I love that about how you approach selling, is you try and price stuff at a reasonable price where someone else can make some money, or leave something there. It's not top price.
Well, and knowing what I paid for them
Sure.
originally, it's fine.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, so the Heart of a Highway Antique Center. You're here. You've got several booths, and you traveled the world, obviously the nation, anyways, as far as different antique centers and different things. Anything you would want to tell our viewers about coming here and the experience they would have here?
Oh goodness. It's one of the friendliest antique malls I've ever been to.
Good.
I don't know. Every week I find things here to buy.
You-
You'll testify
I know,
to that.
I know.
and good things to buy that I'll keep in my collections. So
So there's always fresh.
there's always fresh stuff, not just in my booth. There's always
So let's
fresh
talk
stuff.
about this for a second. How often do you restock your booth?
I'm here.
Or rework it.
I'm here every Saturday and Sunday all day.
And he's not like, I mean, from the time we open until we close, Saturday and Sunday, he works his booths. He's restocking. He's cleaning up, rearranging. It's almost like you got to go back in and remold the sculpture every week.
Well, yeah, because a new collection will come in, or
Yeah.
something sells. That's always great.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Space to work with.
Space to work with. Josh, anything else you want to ask or talk about with David here? This is pretty cool.
He's one of the hardest working dealers that we have in the mall. He is constant. He brings stuff in, moves stuff around, constantly working his booth. If you want to know where something is, he probably knows. So
That is true.
if he ever needs a job at the Heart of Ohio,
We could hook him right up, couldn't we?
Well, I mean, I'd say too, I'm encouraged to work here because I see you guys here working. When I come here and see you working and your wives working and, people jumping in and making it happen, then I'm encouraged to.
Oh, that's
I
good.
love hearing that.
Well,
pitch in, too.
one of the things we're not afraid to do is pitch in and help. That's I believe that. We've always believed that
Yep.
Dad would kick us in the butt if we would.
Yeah, I've seen the evidence of it. It's very
that's
good.
That's good. Well, David, thank you for letting us talk with you
great.
and sharing. And I love that you have a degree in poetry and that you are a
had
poet.
no
I had
idea.
no idea. And how many have you've published? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I've
many
been
writings
published
have
in
you- have you
lots of journals and things, but I haven't published a book yet.
No books. Okay.
I've written several books, but
Not just for you. Not to be
well,
published?
no.
Or
But
someday.
now when I look at them, I'm glad I didn't publish them.
Okay.
I didn't pursue it. The writing now is in a much better place.
Okay.
It's more about the writing than about me.
Okay.
So I'm glad about that. I didn't rush.
It wasn't. Okay.
You know,
But
fine wine.
do you think
has to-
do you think you're still going to try and publish?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you definitely want to publish a book.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I think-
Okay, I want to buy one,
All
and I
right.
want you to sign it when you get
So well
published.
spoken. I'm afraid to say anything now. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna
No.
watch my P's and
No,
Q's.
please. No.
English major, poetry.
German majors.
German.
Yeah,
major.
German. Yeah.
Oh.
If anyone needs help with German, I can help them
I
out.
shake your head.
You know
at
my
me
wife's
like
German, right?
butchering the
Really?
English language.
Yeah, from Stuttgart.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, now,
So
now
now
we
you
have
know
to.
it-
Now we have to visit.
And Lucas is studying German. He's been helping here.
Okay.
Okay. So when you see him, talk to him in German. It's
Okay.
you got my
I'll
permission.
do it. That'd be great.
Yeah, yeah. And then Noah is my oldest son. My wife actually only talked German to him the first 2 years. He's retained a lot more, and he's got a minor in German in med school as he went through. So
Okay.
that's really cool. That's interesting.
You should learn German too.
Ich spreche ein kleines bisschen.
Ein klein bisschen.
Klein bisschen.
You just
Okay.
reminded me of something. When we were young and you first started dating Silka,
Uh-oh.
we started speaking Pig Latin
Yes, we
to
did.
mess with her. And she would get so mad at us because she couldn't figure it out. She would get close. But we now that's more my language.
Okay.
Pig Latin, German. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Different situations, different
It was a fun.
languages.
It was fun. It just reminded me we were in the van going to a call or going to an auction or something.
We were just
started,
messing
yeah,
with
we
her.
started messing with her.
If you haven't noticed yet, Josh loves to mess with us around here. So if you're watching any of our videos, especially the Jacob and Josh's, it's just for having fun. But yeah, we like to keep it lively and lots of fun around here.
Yeah,
We want to have a
gotta
good
have
time. And we appreciate our dealers, and we love these guys so much, man. They're so awesome. Without people like David here, we couldn't be America's biggest and best antique center. It takes you guys to be able to make this happen, and so we greatly appreciate it. And
Thank you.
We invite you, if you're watching this video, to come out here and experience this antique center for yourself. We have 2 YouTube channels. I'll just briefly talk about those. The @BurnerBrother Antiques is behind the scenes. That's Josh and I. A lot of craziness. Estate calls, house calls. We're taking you with us. Weekly auction
Stuff we get
results. Josh was in a pig barn last week. So I'm just saying we take you with you on that channel. And then we have the @Heart of Ohio Antiques. And we're gonna keep this one here more about our dealers and what we do at the Antique Center. And that's what you're watching now is the @Heart of Ohio Antiques. So please subscribe and share this with your friends if you enjoyed this. And more than that, come visit us.